Well, folks, in today's video, we're going to be fixing this Canadian National, I believe it's called the Calframe locomotive. This is an old Lima engine. It does not run very well. I can't complain though, I got it for free in a lot. And, I mean, it's a nice engine, but it does not run well. So, in today's video, we're basically going to try to see if we can make it run a bit smoother. I'm sure we can, because I don't think the oil was ever changed since this thing left the factory. I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. So here it is set up on the track. We're going to try giving it some power. And yeah, as you can hear, that really is not the type of sound you want to be hearing, and I'm sure this thing can go a lot faster too. So we're going to clean this thing up and give her an oil change and see if that will fix her up. To be completely honest with you guys, I have not had a lot of experience with these old Lima engines, so it's going to be a bit of a trial and error. I think trying to take this thing apart, I might not do it perfectly, but how are you going to learn if you don't, right? So, yeah, we'll begin by removing each of the 4 clips. Whoops. Got it apart, the top just popped off. Anyway, here we are inside, and we got the old Lima motor there. Quite similar in power, I'd say, to like an old Tyco, Lifelike, or Bachmann, kind of from the 80s. That's probably how it would be best described. Anyways, to pop this thing out, I believe we have to take off the bottom screws. I found this little screwdriver set at Dollar Tree a couple months ago. It was quite unusual. It was the only one of its kind in the whole store, but I have to say so far that I really liked this little set. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. The thing I really like about it is that, unlike most cheap sets, it's got a great big handle, so you can put a lot more torque through the screws. And when you're working on old engines like this, that can really be helpful because the screws tend to be a bit stiff sometimes. So it can really help out. Anyway, I could be wrong, but I believe we have to take off the wheels to remove the frame. Trial and error. Alright, we got the screws out. Now for the moment of truth. That one might just need to be loosened a little more. And there we go, we're inside. So now we can actually remove all the wheel sets, can we? Huh, we can't. That's the first time I've seen an engine like that. Weird. Okay, so this engine's really bizarre. Most engines, you pull the truck out the bottom. In this one, it seems that you take it out the top, like that. Bizarre, but not necessarily a bad design, because this makes it very difficult for the trucks to pop out, so decent job, Lima. Alright, well I guess we'll remove this plate right here and see if we can have a look at how the motor is doing. This might be interesting. Oh, there's one of the bushings. And there's the other brushing. Well, there's one of the springs at least. There's the brushing. And I can see one of the springs in here, so I'll just pull that out. And there are the springs. We don't have to worry about those popping out. And there's the commutator, and right behind that's the armature. It doesn't all appear to be in terrible shape. I thought this was going to be a lot worse. So that's good news. So I've looked over the gears, and I actually can't find any dirt or dried oil. So I'm just going to guess that they haven't been lubricated in a while, and that adding some lubricant would fix them. So I added some oil, and they seem to be turning okay. So my guess would be that that commutator was a bit of the problem, but I made another discovery which might be causing a lot of issues. You can see right there, there is a flange on the outside of the wheel. That means there's supposed to be a tire here. So since this thing doesn't have tires, it's probably slipping a lot, and it's definitely not helping the situation. Also, the wheel in the middle is a dummy wheel, so this thing, since it only has 4-wheel drive and it doesn't have any tires, is not getting near to the amount of traction it should be. Anyways, I've polished up the commutator. It came out very well. I was quite surprised to see that, so that's good news. So now all we have to do is put in the brushes and then try to sort out something for traction tires. Hey, you guys may remember in my dollar store traction tires video, I used these little ring washers basically as traction tires, and a lot of people were skeptical how long those would last, but so far on the locomotive I've used as a test, they're holding fine, so I don't really see any harm in putting the same thing on this locomotive. So now that we've got that back in, let's sorry, I think I've got this backwards actually. Alright, after a little bit of work we got that piece back on, so now we will put the shell back on, which is right over here. Yeah. This is the front, you can tell because that's where the light fixture goes. Anyway. Alright, we've got her all set up on the track. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Did all that effort pay off? Wow, okay, apparently so. That's running way better. Wow, look at her go. No more weird squealing noises, and, well, it's obviously going a lot faster. Incredible, I really didn't think it was going to run this well. Well, I'd call that a success. Well, folks, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm very happy with the outcome of this little restoration slash tune-up. I mean, you guys saw at the beginning of this video how this thing ran, and now it's running really smooth, so I'm quite happy with it. So that'll be it. Stay tuned for whatever is coming next. I don't know, there's a lot of videos and whatnot on the go, but I'll try to upload something interesting.